So it's been so long since I kind of did this. Well, I guess I'm back, and a lot of things happened. Yeah, there was I think I already told y'all that the following week after my birthday, that was on April 6th, and uh, yeah, so let's open that stuff. Let's answer some questions today, as we should. Yesterday I couldn't do a video because I was preparing for my midterm midterm exams in analytical chem, and it turns out I took it earlier. It's just so easy. It's literally just how solving the molarity stuff like that. Probably because it's kind of sad. The teacher that I have, the professor, I mean, that I have right now, is the same teacher. It's the same chemistry teacher that I have uh, back in high school. So, yeah. And I guess she's kind of old now, and yeah, she is old. She's probably 50 something, and I feel like she's you know, really kind of just, it's a lot of changes and stuff. My hair is a mess. What the hell? So, yeah. And what happened is that, let's just continue the story. So, that's what happened. I added him back. Uh, this is the same story where I unfriended because I felt like that. I added him back, and that's what happened. Since pretty much since he thought that he called it, I burned the bridge between us. He shall do it too, or instead of him forgiving me, or you know, does it does it just takes does it just take a couple of stories for me for him to forgive me, and everything will be back to normal? No, he said that now I am going to be the one who is uh, burning the bridge and stuff. So I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm really sorry and stuff. I've been struggling, and about my mental issues and stuff. But he was like, you, and then he was like, final message. I was like, the last question I had, please answer. I was like, yeah, please answer. Did you had did you have fun having me around? He was like, if I said no, you'd be pessimistic. I mean, if I he was like, if I said yes, you would be pessimistic about it, and would think that I think that he's lying. He knows me. He knows me stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be it's been a couple of days. It's been hard. You know what I mean? But I guess this is the starting point of my 21 years of existence. I lose some, I gain some. Or in order to lose some, or in order to something to end, something will start. What the fuck is up with my hair? Look at this. It's what the. Did you see my nipples? No. Anyway, question of the day is enough about that. And my throat hurts because, I don't know, I'm supposed to feel like I am sick. Yesterday, I just stayed here and studied for my chemistry exam, and yeah, it wasn't bad, just like I said, and that's when I felt it. I think I have gotten the virus. It's a common flu from a classmate because I was too close and I was talking to her and shit, and I was just sneezing all over the place. I mean, I've taken my meds, just a couple of meds. It's not really serious. So the question of the day is, hmm. Do you think that modern society encourages people to be selfish? Do you think that modern society encourages people to be selfish? Now, this is a perspective question because, you know, just like I said, so it's been a while since I did this, but I think that yes, modern society encourages people to be selfish in a good way. Since modern society focuses, like, what is modern society? Let's look it up because is this like the new generation of stuff? Because modern societies are entirely different from the ancient ones. They are large, diverse, and impersonal. Commercial interests predominate over military interest. And of course, the practice of slavery has been abolished. Well, yeah, since it says here that it is the characteristics of the modern society is that they are large, diverse, and impersonal, and the commercial interest is much more focused than the military interest. Then yes, it focuses on the individuality and the diversity of the society. I, why do I hate it so much? I think it's because the sides are too puffy. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck did your hair? Wait, wait. Because it's too. It's just. I feel like uh, the sides are just. It just grew longer. I almost say on my nipples. Grew longer than the front. But yeah. Anyway, of course, you have people now because back then, since there's like let's have a contrast of an ancient and a modern society. Ancient ones are there would be a superior race, and let's historically it has been just the white supremacy shit, and with the slavery and the discrimination of the of the bad people and stuff. And now, it also says here, this is from Science Direct, by the way. And of course, the practice of slavery has been abolished. So pretty much, there's no more of that. So the question again is, do you think that the modern society encourages people to be selfish? If you would say so, yes, because pretty much modern society encourages people to to grind actually to grind and to contribute to the economy because that's just how modern society is. It is multifaceted. There are like multi businesses and companies that needs to that needs employees and stuff, and people would just would they say that uh, that after college there's not much like skills that actually matter. They don't teach you that in universities. They just teach you to be to work in a corporate world, something like that, something sad. I don't know, man. I'm tired actually, but I just have to do this. Selfish, yes, because today, okay, the stigma of mental health is probably getting little day by day. It is recognized. People are bringing awareness to mental health, mental being, well being, and that's one of the things that what would make the new generations, and of course, the new generations would damn the new generations would just cling on to that, and as they would grow, they already grew in a society where there's no more stigma about those sensitive topics in a way. And the on the other hand, the older generations, let it be the millennials and boomers, there would still be a chance that they could interfere or intervene with the current with the passed on attitudes from their the past generations, and would most likely to adapt to these changes. But no, it's not gonna be most likely. It would be just likely. It's because it is less likely for that to happen because generational attitude, generational internalized stuff. Let's just say internalized homophobia, internalized Islamophobia, internalized racism is still there. And of course, you can't really tell. I mean, you can't really change a person from let's just say a boomer person. Millennials are somehow kind of close to you know. It's when the modern society started, I guess. So yeah, yes, it do encourages people to be more selfish because now since let's use the word aware. Right now, people, Gen Z generation, the Generation Z, I, for once, I am part of the Generation Z. I'm born in 2003, so I'm literally on that bracket. And, I noticed that people are getting more open to sex education. In my country, of course, because my country is conservative. I live in the Philippines, and there it is a taboo to talk about sex, to learn about sex and stuff, and that's the reason why people, there's still teenage pregnancy in this country. It is everywhere, but there's a hefty amount in the country that I live from. But now it was like, I'm like, you know what I mean? I would speak for the rest of my fellow Gen Zs that if you are aware of what you're gonna go through, you know what I mean? If you're a woman or if you're a girl, go through, if for instance you're gonna get pregnant and you have to give birth to it and then raise it, it's too much work, it's too much money. You know, like the economic and the financial status of the Philippines and your financial status of your family, then of course you would think otherwise. You won't really, risk anything. You know it. You're aware of it. You're aware of what happens, when there's like an intercourse and stuff. And if you're not being too careful, you know what I mean? Like abortion is mega, mega, mega taboo in the country too. It's pretty much illegal. I mean, I guess it's not. I mean, I think it is actually. It really feels like illegal because it's so taboo. People don't talk about it. It is never an option for you to abort your stuff, your 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 clump of cells. So let's just say that. And don't get me wrong, I am pro-choice, and you know what I mean. Like it's up to them. It's up to the women or whatever they do. But it's just me. Or let's just say in my generation they understand what being pro-choice is like. But older generations don't. So they would try to talk this poor girl. You know what I mean? But yeah, how is that being selfish? Because people who are older, that's one of the main group of people would judge the Gen Zs or the younger people or the younger generations that that chooses to not, let's just say millennials to Gen Zs, let's just say couples who does not want to have children, would rather have pets as someone or something that they could take care of, and they would be coined as selfish by the older generations. Now, why is that? They are selfish. Why? These older generations would think that these younger generations who chooses keep term chooses is that uh, shit, ow, who chooses to not have children Why are they selfish? Because it's like the time, effort, money, to spend to a baby or to another human being would be spent on them to be to be uh the efforts and understanding and taking care of someone would be just taking care of themselves. How is that selfish? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the Philippines. One thing I've noticed is that people who are in their older generations, let's just say the parents of our parents, they they give birth. You know what? It's like the usual. Like, people would have like at least two digits children, 10, at least 10, and yeah, more than five. Let's just say your parents have siblings and they're like eight or seven. That's already a lot. So that's where the selfish term would be, would be used to someone who doesn't want to have kids, because for them having kids is like something like, a blessing. It is a blessing. It is really a blessing. But now people are literally dying. You do not have the luxury to bring something or to bring another being into this world if you cannot take full responsibility for it. Why? Because they didn't. They did not take full responsibility for it. I'm not saying every parent, but those parents who are, yeah, the parents, yeah, let's just say it's connected to the this generation's parents, where you might have been an accident. You know what I mean? You were the reason why your parents got married. It's because your mother is already pregnant of you. So what happens is that, you know since it is an accident, not even an accident, it's just say intentional. No, there's no accident. Master Uguay said there's no accident. An intentional pregnancy, because probably rubber didn't exist back then, or just, there's no access. You can't really blame, but you know what I mean. People are just getting pregnant. So what happens is that this child would just go into this world, would feel deprived of love, of financial stability, those bare minimum, or it's just obligations of the parents. You would raise, feed, clothe, and bathe this child until it can stand on its own. And that's literally your job. So when it's just saying me, I'm 20, 21 now, I understand their perspective, I understand my parents' perspective. But now, I don't want to give birth. You know what I mean? I don't want to have children in a time where the timing is not right. I would have it later on, probably in my 30s or my late 20s. You know what I mean? Late 20s is still a stretch. It's still so, what do you call this? Like, it's still so early. So, yeah, modern society really encourages people to be selfish in a good way. Selfish where they could sustain themselves, especially for those people or those of this generation where their parents are kind of fucktwads. Sorry for the language, but it's true that they could not leave anything for their child or children. There's no inheritance, and you know what I mean? What's there? There's like a lot of things to risk. So there's like a lot of things that you don't want to risk. So one of those is, risking your career. You can't. You don't have the luxury to to take a year off of college because you have to work and stuff, or you have to finish college and get a good job. You know what I mean? So yeah, modern society just it's just our reality. There's no more future. This is the future, and it's sick. Oh god, it's so itchy. What? It's sick. People are dying. Prices are up. It's a reality that we're living in. That's why being selfish is a good thing. Being selfish means that or you know what I mean. You know what you could bite, because there's like a term where, or like a phrase where, no, you know what I mean. Like you should bite more. You should you, you just bite at the right amount. If you bite too much, you know what I mean. Like I can't. I forgot. Fuck.